Hey guys, TMG here. Today's video is about these two consoles here, the Classiq N and the Classiq II. And this is the Classiq N HD, and this is an AV model. And this video is basically a comparison of the NES. And these are both made by Old School, but I've heard a lot of people on the internet saying the Classiq II, the NES functionality, is basically the same as the Classiq N, but I'm here to show that they are wrong. There's some differences. These are actually about the same price. This is an AV model, not the HDMI model. I don't know if it... So these are about the same price actually. This is an HD model. And so you could... An added bonus of this one, Super Nintendo games, but some people like playing NES on their HD TV. Now, you're probably going to see this when I compare them. Out of the two, this one has more accurate audio and visuals, including colors and things like that. And I don't think either of them are 100% like the NES, but you'll probably notice this one is definitely more accurate, especially in audio department. This one, if you play some games, the sound will just sound like it's higher pitched or something. But with other games, like I'll probably Metroid, it actually sounds about right. So I think I'm gonna do Super Mario Bros. 1, Legend of Zelda, and Metroid, because I think those will be some pretty good comparisons for footage. And in the footage, this one will probably look a little sharper because this is HDMI, but the colors and audio will still be more accurate on this. So I'll show you that now. Okay, I think you could definitely see, or more likely hear the difference. Now, I don't think any of these consoles is necessarily worse than the other. The old school is I'd say is a pretty good brand. Their products do feel quality. They do have some weight to them. They're not like other third-party brands feel like they're gonna fall apart sometimes. I feel like you couldn't go wrong with either of these. I guess if you want to play NES on an HD TV, this is like this is a pretty good option. But if you want more of the accuracy, you don't really care about the HDMI. This is the same price, and same price and more accurate audio and visuals. So, also Super Nintendo. I guess I don't know. Thing is, I don't know if the HD console version of the Classiq II is different in any way in terms of audio and visuals. It could be more like this one, but I'm not sure. And I did get my Classiq N before I got the Classiq II. I got this about a year before this one. So I wonder, maybe the modern Classiq Ns could be more like this one, but from what I've seen on the internet, I don't think they are. I guess this one is cool in a way, because I wasn't planning on doing this, but I guess I'll try and show you. It'll be a little tricky. This cable barely reaches. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Okay, but when I turn this on, this light, well, at least when it has a game in it, I think. Oh no, it changes color, which I guess is cool in terms of looks. This one just has a red light for NES and green for SNES, but also I think, despite that light being pretty cool, I think when you're playing games, what you're looking at is not the light on the console. You're looking at the games, which this can be a little distracting when you're playing a game, but you know, it's a cool little detail, but I feel like it's mostly the games that count. In terms of size, Classiq II is definitely a lot bigger. And you can definitely tell this is more NES inspired, and this is more Super Nintendo inspired display colors scheme. And this does support Super Nintendo controllers, of course, because you can play Super Nintendo games, but you can play NES games with the Super Nintendo controller if you want, where the other buttons that the NES controller wouldn't have basically act as turbo buttons. So I don't personally use that because I kind of feel like it's cheating, but it's there if you want it. This comes with two old school NES controllers. This comes with an old school NES controller and the old school branded Super Nintendo controller. Which the NES controllers for both of them are identical, it's just the color scheme is different. Here. See, that's this one. It looks more like a traditional NES controller in here. This one is purple accents instead of red, but they're identical controllers. It's just the colors. And the Super Nintendo controller that comes with this one, I gotta say it's very high quality. I have an official Super Nintendo controller, and I can play with either of these, and they both actually feel about the same. Like, this is getting pretty close to the OEM quality, which is saying a lot. But yeah, I feel like you could go. Either of these consoles could be good for NES. I got this console actually to play Super Nintendo games, but I liked the NES functionality more because it was more accurate to the actual NES. So this kind of just sits in my drawer now. But whenever I'm going somewhere and there's an HD TV, this is a nice thing to bring with, especially because of its size. Yeah, it really depends on what you want out of your console, but either will work, but I really like my more accurate audio and visuals. Okay, DMG out. Bye.